From the shadows of the National Palace
to the muddy trenches of politics. This is the pigsty, the pig pen of dirty politics.
Greetings, inhabitants of this pigsty called Mexico. Come on in. Make yourselves comfortable among the mud and the stench. What's up today? The strong smell doesn't just come from national politics, but also brings an exquisite imported perfume straight from the marble desks of the UN. I'm Luis Berman, and this is the pigsty, the pig pen of politics, the only place where the truth isn't cleaned up, it gets wallowed in. Stop everything, bring out the noisemakers. Because it turns out that at the United Nations, they finally realized what any lady going out to buy tortillas already knew. That in Mexico, people disappear faster than the budget of a refinery that doesn't refine. The UN Committee on Enforced Disappearances has decided to bring our crisis to the General Assembly as an urgent matter. What an honor, what a distinction. We're now the star of the International Horror Show. You know I'm here to get my hands dirty for you because in this pigsty called politics, if you don't get dirty, it means you're not working. Get your snacks of questionable origin ready and get prepared, because today the government put on the gloves against the ambitious types at the UN. Let's get started. It turns out that the gentlemen from the UN Committee on Enforced Disappearances, who probably have croissants for breakfast in Geneva while we're here getting by on a tolle, they released a report saying that things in Mexico are not exactly rosy. What a surprise. But don't worry, our impeccable Ministry of the Interior and the distinguished diplomats from Foreign Affairs have already responded to them, with all the elegance that comes from having the other data up their sleeve, says the committee. Very elegant words so as not to hurt the sensitivities of our leaders in power. There are well-founded indications, meaning it's obvious even to a blind person, that disappearances in Mexico continue to be perpetrated as crimes against humanity. Bravo, gold medal in the barbarism Olympics. According to these bureaucrats in Geneva, the attacks are widespread or systematic. Translation for those who still believe in the other facts. Here they wipe you off the map on any street corner at any time. They do it with an efficiency that the garbage collection service could only wish for. And the best part of all is the part about complicity. And here's the essence. According to the UN, the authorities, the ones who swear to protect us with one hand on their heart and the other on their wallet, are in it up to their necks, whether by action, omission, or simply because they're too lazy to lift a finger while criminal groups play Tetris with human beings. The committee says that even though there are crimes against humanity in every municipality, state, and under every stone, there is no evidence that at the federal level there is a policy to commit such acts. Ah, well, what a relief. I feel much more at ease. So if they make you disappear in a municipality and the state government does nothing and the federal government just shrugs and looks the other way, it's not a federal policy. Just bad luck, a miscalculation, a small bump in the road to transformation. Juan Alban Alencastro, the head of the committee, explains it with a logic that would crush Aristotle. The president doesn't need to sign a disappearance order for it to be a crime against humanity. It's enough for the magnitude and pattern of the attacks to turn the country into a giant sieve. Here are the numbers that scare people, but not the politicians. For those who love horror statistics, here are some figures that the committee released to see if anyone would wake up in the palace. Clandestine graves found, 4,500 bodies discovered, 6,200 human remains, pieces of people, 4,600 unidentified remains, total oblivion, 72,000 nameless remains. That's not a crisis. Miss Chancho's is an open-air cemetery the size of a soccer stadium full of ghosts. And meanwhile, our authorities are still overwhelmed. Poor things, they're so busy inaugurating half-finished projects and fighting on Twitter that they don't have time for the minor detail of looking for those who are missing. And what does the UN propose in the face of this mess? Well, the usual: technical cooperation, financial support, and specialized assistance. They want to send us experts to teach us how to look for what the government doesn't want to find. They want to investigate the links between public officials and organized crime. Good luck with that. If they try to investigate those links, they'll end up finding that the family tree of the government and that of the cartel are the same. They also propose an effective mechanism to uncover the truth. The truth, that word in Mexican politics, is worth less than a devalued peso. They want to protect the families searching for their children, those same mothers who have to go out with pick and shovel under the sun, because the state is too busy protecting those who carry the machine guns. The government, with that thin skin it's been showing lately, has called the report biased and lacking in rigor. Take that. European conservatives, according to the official UN statement, are partial and biased and didn't bother to read the homework that Mexico sent them. In other words, the government stayed up late making really nice slides about their institutional efforts, and these gentlemen from the UN simply deleted the file before publishing their resolution. How rude. Do our authorities really say that the UN's arguments don't match the definition of enforced disappearance? Of course, we have more creative definitions. If someone can't be found, it's because they're out partying or went to chase the American dream, but never, never, ever think that the state has something to do with it because, as the statement says, this government does not tolerate, allow, or order any of that. In fact, since 2025 here in this glorious transformation that doesn't even rest to bask in the sun, everything is happiness and harmony. But here comes the good part, the part we like, on La Posilga. The gossip about the conflict of interest is that the government, in its eagerness to get rid of this direct accusation, it says that at least one of the members of the UN committee worked for organizations that complain about the Mexican state. Oh my God. That's why, according to the fourth transformation government, the UN's legal rigor hit rock bottom, according to our guys in diplomacy, who, by the way, are experts in rigor, the rigor of omitting reality. Lack of rigor, weak premises, those are fancy words to say we don't like being told the truth about ourselves. The government insists that the current reality of the country has nothing to do with what those international reports say, and they're right. Outside, they see missing people. Here inside, we see people in the process of being located with excess and delay. It's a matter of semantics, my little tricks to pull the wool over their eyes. The statement reminds us that we have new tools, the National Search Alert, the National Investigation Case Database, and the Unique Identity Platform. Just words that sound like NASA technology. Meanwhile, the search collectives, those women who, shovel in hand, do the work the government forgets, keep digging. The government congratulates itself for having strengthened the National Search Commission. It's wonderful to see how institutions are created to address what, according to them, almost doesn't exist anymore. We are open to technical cooperation as long as they tell us we're perfect. If they're coming to criticize, they'd better not even get off the plane. The committee's conclusion is devastating. Since their visit in 2021, the situation hasn't shown any change. What a surprise. It turns out that morning speeches and campaign promises don't help to dig up people or to stop the hitmen. Reality is stubborn, it's dirty, and smells like a mass grave, no matter how much Democratic perfume they put on it. We are facing a state that, according to the UN, doesn't have a policy of disappearing people, but has mastered the politics of indifference. And at the end of the day, to the mother searching for her son, it makes no difference whether the crime was ordered from an air-conditioned office in the Capitol or by a guy with a ski mask in the mountains. If in the end the result is the same, a vacant seat and a case file gathering dust in a prosecutor's office that's good for nothing. Anyway, my little piggies, the message is clear. Mexico is a true paradise of truth and justice. If the UN says otherwise, it's because they're just jealous and don't understand the depth of our national transformation. We reaffirm our absolute commitment, the guarantee of truth, and the identification of the enemies of the nation. That means everyone who doesn't applaud when the official statement says that not even a fly can get through here without permission. Well, my pigs from this national pigsty, there you have your dose of international reality. The UN has already slapped a label on us as a country with crimes, the war. The government has already put those European bureaucrats in their place. I'm out. I'm going to see if I can find something to eat, because with so many reports and statements, I've ended up hungry for justice, or maybe for some suadero tacos. Whatever comes up first, keep wallowing in the mud. See you in the next episode of my news series here at the Pigsty, the Pigpen of Politics. I'm Louis Berman. Take care, don't get lost, disappear literally, and I'll see you in the next episode of Filth. Goodbye.
This is the Pigsty, the Pigpen of Politics with Louis Berman.